Right now on 10 News at 11.
So has a strap on him. This is the end of it for us right here, homie.
The end of a police chase caught on exclusive cell phone video. A gun battle in the middle of a busy street. A closer look showing the gun being pointed and fired at officers right before the man is hit with bullets. It's video you will only see on 10 News. A suspect pulls out a gun and gets into a shootout with police. Good evening, I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Derek Stallin for Steve Atkinson. 10 News reporter Matt Boone joins us live in Logan Heights tonight with that video and new information, Matt, about what led up to the shootout.
Derek, Kimberly, police say they came to this area of National Avenue near 33rd Street looking for a suspect involved in a potential drug deal or narcotics violation. They came here, they found that man, but then he began to run. That's when a witness here started rolling on his cell phone. But before we play it, a warning to our viewers. We've blurred some of it, but it is still graphic. Some people may find it disturbing.
So has a strap on him. This is the end of it for us right here, homie.
After initially running away, the man turned suddenly.
This was about to start dunking, homie.
That's when he starts charging towards police as they yell at him to drop his gun. Police now say some of those gunshots were fired by the suspect, though no officers were hit.
I don't know the exact series of events, I just know that gunfire was exchanged. And the officers did give the suspect commands to drop his gun per witnesses. The suspect pointed the gun at the officers, and that's when the firing began.
In freeze frames, the gun is clearly seen, including right before the shooting began, when the suspect raises his arm, directing the gun at officers.
Crazy, it's hectic.
Jerry Zavala lives down the block and says he was sitting at home.
When I heard my dogs, the dogs next door barking, the sirens.
Police say 2 officers fired. One is a 20-year veteran. The other has 4.5 years on the force. Police say they do know who the suspect is, but didn't release his name, only describing him as a 30-year-old Hispanic man. He was hit at least once and taken to the hospital. Zavala, who has seen the cell phone video, just glad police were able to stop the suspect before anyone else was hurt.
You see somebody with a gun, you got to protect yourself.
Now, in the latest update, police say that suspect's injuries are expected to be non-life-threatening. As for what he may be charged with, that right now is still unclear. The police investigation is still ongoing behind us. The homicide team is doing the first investigation. That, of course, will be reviewed by the district attorney's office. Reporting live tonight in Logan Heights, Matt Boone, 10 News.
Matt, thank you. Local law enforcement and the DA's office have released several videos in recent months of violent incidents involving officers. This video shows deputies shooting a man at a Lemon Grove Del Taco. They ask him to put down his gun, but he instead lifts it back up and points it at them before getting shot. The district attorney also cleared a San Diego police officer in a shooting that killed a man wielding a chain. The man moves toward the officer, who is screaming at him to get on the ground. And this third video sent the man to prison, seen here tackling an officer during a chase. He had a gun on him and was also charged with robbery. For full transparency and context, 10 News has decided to put the entire unedited video of this shooting on our website, 10news.com.
Saudi Arabia says its initial investigation shows Iranian weapons were used in the drone attack on key oil facilities over the weekend. The attack caused oil prices to soar. Yemen's Houthi rebel group, which is backed by Iran, has taken credit publicly, but the U.S. says there's no evidence the rebels actually did it, instead laying the blame on Iran.
I hope our international partners will join us in imposing consequences on Tehran for this reckless, destabilizing attack.
Following a meeting between the president and members of his national security team, the Secretary of Defense tweeted out they're working with intelligence officials to figure out how to respond to this unprecedented attack.
President Trump will visit San Diego this week. The president will be here Wednesday for a fundraiser at an undisclosed location. President Trump will attend several other fundraisers this week in California, including Los Angeles, Beverly Hills, and Palo Alto. And we will have complete coverage of the president's visit Wednesday right here on 10 News.
New tonight, Governor Gavin Newsom is taking added steps designed to discourage teens from vaping. He signed an executive order today directing the state to spend $20 million on a public awareness campaign about the health risks of vaping. This comes as a person from Fresno died from complications related to e-cigarettes. That means nationwide, a total of 7 deaths have been linked to vaping. Newsom also asked lawmakers to send him legislation banning flavored e-cigarettes.
Let's just dispense with any niceties. You don't have bubblegum flavored, mango flavored tobacco products unless you're trying to target an audience that you were losing. That's young people.
Hundreds of people nationwide have gotten serious lung illnesses related to vaping.
New at 11 o'clock, a University City liquor store owner is hoping that someone will recognize 2 women who swiped a bottle of whiskey worth hundreds of dollars. 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo shows us the owner didn't let them get away without a fight.
The owner says the 2 women walked out of this front door to a car that was already waiting in these parking spaces. The entire thing all caught on these cameras. The shelf is still empty at Courtesy Liquor Deli after the owner says 2 women got away with a high-end bottle of whiskey, a bottle worth nearly $250.
The expensive one, Johnny Walker Blue Label.
Surveillance video shows one of the women with the bottle of Blue Label as she walks towards the back of the store. The woman then hands the bottle off and goes down the aisle towards the register. The other walks outside.
She said, "Oh, I'm gonna bring my ID. It's in the car." She was the driver.
Then, as owner Hatham Bello is helping another customer, the woman walks out without paying for the bottle.
The lady with the bottle, she was standing over there. She was looking on another lady until to tell her, "I'm ready to get me in."
Bello chased after the women, jumping into the getaway truck until he says he was assaulted by a man in the car.
He just hit me in my eyes. The lady, she was in the back, she hit me in my head.
Bello filed a police report with San Diego PD and hopes these women are caught before someone else is hit.
My money is, I work hard for this money. It's not easy. And it's a family business, and I don't like somebody to cheat me.
Anyone with information about the case is asked to call SDPD. In University City, Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
And 10 News has recently covered similar liquor thefts. Just 2 months ago, surveillance video caught 2 women shoving bottles of high-end champagne into their reusable shopping bags. Employees at Major Market in Escondido say the women walked out without paying. Thefts like this one are actually on the rise, and some people are blaming the state's plastic bag ban because so many people are bringing in their own bags.
A Rancho Bernardo father who sparked the fire that killed his 2 children was found guilty today. The children's mother praised her late son for trying to save his sister while slamming his father for doing nothing.
You are the true hero. You got out of that bed. You ran into that room. You tried to save someone. But the person that was supposed to save you was a coward and ran downstairs.
Well, Henry Lopez was convicted of involuntary manslaughter and child endangerment today. Prosecutors say he fell asleep drunk in his condominium with a lit cigarette, which sparked the fire. 7-year-old Isabella and 10-year-old Christos were upstairs. Christos died from burns to his body, and Isabella died from smoke inhalation. Lopez faces up to 16 years behind bars. New at 11 o'clock, 2 hikers with a dog were trapped in a canyon within Mission Trails Regional Park tonight. San Diego Fire Rescue used one of its helicopters to airlift the hikers and their dog to safety. It is unclear how they got stuck, but no one was injured during the rescue.
Now to a developing story. 2 schools are looking into reports that fans shouted racial slurs at cheerleaders and football players from Lincoln High School during a game Friday in Orange County. 10 News reporter Mackenzie Maynard talked to students who are struggling to process this.
To hear about it happen in the modern day during an athletic game, like something that's supposed to be fun and like entertaining, it's it's sad.
What was supposed to be another game in the season turned into a scarring night for many.
Being a father, being a coach, being around all of these young kids for years, you can tell when something's really bothering them.
Especially the head football coach for Lincoln High. Monday morning, he tells us he had no idea the things being yelled from the stands.
When the girls started explaining that they were being called out of their name, N-word, by kids and adults.
Not finding out until everyone was back on the bus heading home.
When I get to the bus, and I think six or eight of the drill team players had to ride with us on the bus with their coach. And I finally got a chance to sit and ask them.
One student tells me he was called names walking through the Orange County crowd.
As I was walking to the food snack bar, everybody was just looking at me.
The comments were made by students and adults from San Clemente Friday night.
It was crazy because they were calling them dogs. They were calling them the N-word and everything.
I mean, it's disgusting.
The cheer coach posted on Instagram explaining some of the things she heard yelled at her team. They were super excited on the bus to go to San Clemente, only to be called N-word, and also that they need a leash so they can be walked. Lincoln High School teachers discussed the incident in class.
One of my teachers actually, he had a meeting for it, for students if they wanted to come by and talk about it.
And that was Mackenzie Maynard reporting. San Clemente's principal wrote a letter to Lincoln High condemning the alleged behavior and also asked for anyone with evidence to send it to them for their investigation.